I'm gonna go ahead and I'm pretty sure I already got part 2 loaded up into the queue, so I'm just going ahead and play it. I was thinking about turning it into a whole different video, but I'm just keeping it as one thing. I'm just going to play it.
So I run up to the thing.
Yeah, that was
I squat down. I look. The truck just now pulled in. He pulled in like mostly cars with people who trying to just chill and come kick it and talk or whatever. They're just pulling in, pull further down towards the building, or they're back in that other way, some type of way. But he pulled in, coming down, put the car in reverse, backed up. So now I got to be extra OD careful because they facing me. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of done got down there on the ground some more. And I'm just like kind of peeking around looking. I didn't have a bald head back then, so the hair probably blended in with the dirty grass and shit. So I'm like this, peeking looking. So it looked like they talking or whatever the case is. And I seen the girl do this. Bruh, the girl came out the damn top part of the shirt and her breast was just exposed. I said, what the fuck going on here? Why the hell is you taking out your titties in front of your uncle? What type of incest? what type of shit is this? I'm finna call child social services on this creep.
CPS, the type of thoughts that will be racing through my mind. You saying you just went to go meet you going to meet your uncle, and all of a sudden you up in his truck, getting bare bones down, bottom, top, just open with it. I'm thinking of all type of things. I'm just like, man, what the hell we got going on? Like, Bill, like, what we got going on here? You hop on that phone, we can call them folks, but something way more sinister going on, man.
Hey, nigga, cause what are you doing? Then I saw the girl with this thing, she pulled off her wrist and did like this, did something with her hair, and then went to doing like this to the point her hair was going straight up. And that girl turned to this young man with his older man, her uncle, and her head disappeared. I don't know where it went. I don't know. Hey, whoa. I don't know where it went. It was leaning towards him, but y'all know my eyes be playing tricks on me. It could have been leaning forward. She could have.
Bill, you know exactly where her head went, man. Sick.
Linked down to go trying to pick up something she dropped off the floor. She could have linked this way and it looked like that way to try to pick up something that she might have dropped. She could have been leaning this way towards him because since he's older, he might got a disability where he can't reach under the seat to grab something. So she could have been trying to assist him with picking something up.
Get the trash grabber then. You know the little trash stick. You got the like the grabber part. You pull the trigger on it, and it got like the 2 prongs at the end. Get one of those. Why you got to get somebody else to do it? Why we haven't even discussed why her chest is out, and she just wrapped up her head, her hair. Unless she's about to do something to her hair, she's washing her face or something. It's not too many reasons a woman to be doing that in a car with a man, Bill. Anybody.
All I know is it was like that for at least 3 minutes because I sat there the whole time like this, and then I heard some like the leaves cracking. So I looked back and there was 2 white ladies coming walking through the thing. So I jumped up real quick and I just was looking at the building just so they don't think I'm a creepy ass nigga out here lying on the ground peeking around the corner. So I was just looking at the building or whatever. And
it shows seeing you somewhere. Two white women walking up. I think he said it was in the middle of the night. Did you see a black man laying on the ground? Yeah, all right, Bill.
I had to play a role. And when they came, they was both looking at me. I said, excuse me, man, one of y'all got $1? They was like, no, we don't have $1. We don't have $1. Bitch, I didn't want no dollar no way. I rather you guys prefer, oh, he a bomb out here versus, oh, this nigga on some creepy shit. You know what I mean? So they go ahead on about their business. They go the opposite way. They went to the left when they came through the cut. They had tennis brackets in their hand and stuff. They going to play tennis. I get back in my spot. I look down. I don't really see nothing now. So I might be too low from the way the window sit. So I get back up. I kind of see something, but not really nothing. I did see him clearly at first.
Right.
And I didn't see that no more. So I go around the other side of the building. And I go around the other side of the building, and I'm like this. When I get around the other side of the building, the uncle back is facing me. This all I see. So
it's not funny, bro. But this nigga jumping up. Bill, what the hell?
it's facing me. This all I see. So
Oh my God. And keep in mind, these are young kids, man. Imagine seeing this at 16, 15, 16, 17, man. And this is a grown man with a minor, a child. Like, it's funny, like, the way Bill just did it, but it's not funny in general. Like, this was somebody's life. Probably is still a lot of people's life right now. That, fall into that pit, fall into that hole for quick cash or just like a terrible upbringing, man. My God.
at that point, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Icebreaker just choked on the icebreaker and the uncle was really, trying to help.
No, no, Bill, you know exactly what's going on, man. You know what's happening around that corner, man. They getting them. They in you know what's going on behind that corner, Bill.
Help her, trying to help her regurgitate this shit. But it looked like some strange, cruel and unusual activity going on. I said, what the fuck? So he probably was doing that for at least 42 seconds. And then it stopped. I say maybe 30 seconds later, Icebreaker get out the car. Well, she tightened up and then she hopped out the car. And then she stood there in the open doorway talking to him for a while. And then I saw him doing this. I don't know if he was getting right. I don't know. But to me, it looked very strange. Very, very, very strange. She immediately come back walking this way. I'm like, damn, I don't want her to see me out here. Cause then she definitely gonna be like, that nigga on some other shit or whatever. So I take off running. Get back to the end, bust that right. Get back to the end, bust that left. And I sat there peeking around a tree, and then I'm sitting here catching my breath. I see her coming back walking down. So right when I kind of catch my breath, she was in between her house and another house. That's when I officially walked from the tree and I'm walking up as if I'm just casually walking. Yo.
You got a soap bar I use?
A what?
A soap bar.
Why you don't use your soap?
I already have.
You got a swab in your bathroom. Go use that.
I just want my hands. Basket.
Look in my bathroom.
Okay.
You got my sign over here with me. But anyway, when I come walking up the thing, she was like, Chris. She waved me down. I was like, what's up? She was like, come on. So I go jogging up there. I'm like, what the hell you got going? She was like, man, just so much family drama, man. My uncle, woo-doo. I'm looking at her like, yo, uncle, you a motherfucker.
Yo, uncle. That's a very strange family dynamic, man, which I just got done watching you doing. Uncle. Okay.
But I still ain't know. Feel me? Like I said, I don't know. We get in the crib. We go up the steps. It was a little whiff, because she was in front of me, of course. She was going up. I was going up. So the thing was in my face. I was trying to pay attention to it. But it was a little whiff that came from it. And I was like, hold on now.
Oh my God. Keep in mind, this girl is still 16, y'all. A whiff. Y'all know what that whiff is. Y'all know exactly what that is. It's the after the action has been done, after the action has been taken, it got a little smell to it, a little smelly smell. That's smelly.
This is the aftermath. Okay, so we go up the steps, we get up there, we sitting down chilling, and she just go on this long rant telling me about family stuff, family this, family that, family this, family that. And she going on and on to the point I damn near believed it, despite what I just saw. Because in my mind, you're a fucking freak. Because I know I just saw your uncle clapping your cheeks in a fucking car in a park in the morning time while you supposed to be in school. Now, what if your mom and daddy knew about that? How do you think they would feel? I should have called Child Protective Service on that motherfucker. So we just sitting here talking, chopping it up, and then out the blue, she said, "Oh, I'm tripping." I said, "What?" She said, "I need to go back to the store." I said, "For what?" She said, "I need to get me a Black and Mild." I said, "A Black and Mild?
Black and Mild?
The fuck is you going through? We 16. What did you talk about, a Black and Mild?" She was like,
Another thing that's common. Not common. I'm not going to say it's common. I'm not going to put that stereotype on that. But like I said, in high impoverished areas, you got literal kids going through adult situations, smoking cigarettes and Black and Milds, and especially that green tree, just to escape the reality of what they're facing. It gets real tough. It gets real sick. It gets real dark, man. And these kids, especially kids that I grew up with, literally go through some of the most weirdest, traumatic things and then have to cope with that later on down in life. And that's usually either through substance abuse or abusing their own bodies, which is kind of the same thing, but it's sad, man.
I said, "How old are you?" She said, "I'm 16. I said, "How the hell you gonna get a Black and Mild?" She said, "Man, that Arab dude at the store, he gonna sell me one." I said, "That man is not finna let you buy no." But she said, "Chris, I buy Black and Milds from there all the time." She said, I just forgot. I gotta go get a Black and Mild." I was like, "Damn." She was like, "Come on, you gonna walk with me, please?" Oh, I left something major out. So soon we come in, she goes straight upstairs, talking about she gotta use the bathroom real quick. You hear water rinsing, you hear like something being scrubbed, then you hear like she was brushing her teeth. Yeah, she had to get her uncle up off of her, I guess.
Whole routine. So she ain't no stranger to this. As you can, as you from the first half of this video, the booklet, where she got all her clients written down. Damn, man.
She come back in there, we go to kicking it. So I'm like, "Yeah, I'll walk with you, I don't care," you know what I'm saying? So we leave out, we go walking up through the cut, we go in the store, and that girl really asked for a Black and Mild. And that was just, I was disgusted by people that smoke. Well, I ain't gonna say I was disgusted by people that smoked tobacco back then. I just was disgusted by the smell. Like, nigga could damn near throw up. We coming back, we walking through the park. As soon as we get on the other end of the, like towards the middle, getting ready to come all the way through the trail, this white truck pull up, flying fast as fuck. It was her daddy. I know it was her daddy because I see him all the time and I know that's his truck. He flying. I'm like, "Oh fuck, he finna get our stupid ass." She like, "Oh shit." So he pull up, he hit it. That man rolled down the window. He looked at that girl. He said, "Bitch, get your motherfucking ass in this car right now." And she looked at me. She was like, "Sorry, Chris, I'll talk to you in a minute." And right when she was saying that, he said, "Don't make me motherfucking say it again, ho." And I'm like, "Hold up, nah."
Pops, was I talking to your little girl? The baby that came out of your apples into the banana pie, and y'all made a banana apple pie. This how you talking to her? Once again, situation like this. And I don't know the full specifics. I'm not even saying that this is a very high impoverished area that Bill is even talking about. Because, but to have the gas station so close where it's just right around the corner is usually how it is in those kind of neighborhoods. I would know. I grew up in a couple of them. But, yeah, to talk to your people like that, especially your little girl, that should tell you exactly what type of time bro is on.
I know, niggas done cuss their daughters out before because they just so mad at them. But you calling her a bitch and a hoe, and it's your 16-year-old child. Folks, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Literally.
You know what I'm saying? She coming over there. She opened the door to get in. As soon as she opened the door, he look up at me and say, "Yo, badass need to quit skipping school. Take your ass to school, little bro." And she closed the door. He hit it. Pulled out the neighborhood, went to the right. Curiosity killed the cat. I said, let me motherfucking see if they going to the park. Let me see what's going on.
You're right. Curiosity killed the cat. You have been in a situation and you don't know the full detail of it, and then you try to get more information. This is really something that you didn't want to know about. And now you got to live with that for the rest of your life. Just some really weird, odd stuff going on. And now you just got to spend the next 70 to 80 years like, damn, man. I just would have stayed at home, bro.
I turn around, I walk back through the park. I get in my little position, peeking around the thing like a damn peeping Tom. He pulls up, he pull in close to where the other dude pulled at. He threw the car in park, he jumped out the car, all aggressive, walks over to the passenger door. As soon as he did that, she immediately did like this. He snatched her hand down and smacked the shit out of her.
Oh,
what?
God.
And in that moment, I felt so bad for her, bro. But I was just like, shit, you probably just got caught behind a black. Maybe your daddy told the dude, let me know if she come trying to buy one again, and you getting suspended from school or whatever the case is. He smacked the shit out of her. When he smacked her, he said, bitch, where the fuck my money? Stop playing with me, hoe. I say, what the fuck? So she was saying something. I couldn't hear her because she wasn't screaming. He was screaming. He said, you a motherfucking lie. Because he already told me. This is my last time telling you where the fuck my money is. So I go to looking to the left to see where them two white ladies at. Because I know damn well they getting ready to call the local authorities. But they was so deep down in the court, playing, they probably didn't even hear this shit. You know what I'm saying? And icebreakers.
And even if they did, some people just be minding their business, bro. Especially if you live in an area where people be yelling and screaming a lot. It's common. Sometimes you just stay out of that, man, because you don't want to put yourself in harm's way trying to be capped to save somebody, and either this is just what they like, this their lifestyle, or like I said, you mess around trying to help and you put yourself in a situation.
Stuck her hand into the front part of her pants, like got all the way in there, lifted that one leg up, and came back out with a knot of money, bro, but it was folded up. It was tied up in like a plastic bag. So I said, hold up. So she just had a knot of money tied up in a plastic bag and stuck inside her private part and just pulled it out and gave it to him. He walked back around the car, said, get your stupid ass home right now. And he got in his truck and pulled off. And she came crying, limping, walking through that. So of course I take off running again. I can't let her know I just saw that. So after a while, I never was telling nobody about this because I was thinking about asking one of my big brothers, but it'll make me mad if I'm trying to ask you about something serious, something for real. And then you want to go to plan, or you want to be saying all kind of little stupid little stuff. So I said, I'm not even going to ask nobody that. I'm not even going to say nothing. I'm going to just keep that to myself, you know what I'm saying? So she never hit me back that day, and I never hit her back. Bro, the rest of the time we were suspended, and neither one of us talked to each other. I think I know for a fact I was just uncomfortable because I didn't know what you had going on.
Right.
None of it made sense.
Right.
I could have sworn I just saw you having sex with your uncle. I could have sworn I just saw your daddy smack the shit out you and call you a bitch and a hoe and tell you come on with his money and you pull some money out of the area where the sun don't shine. It just was too much. And then the fact that she didn't call me back, it just made me feel like she just had a lot of other things going on in her life where it's probably best for me to just leave that situation alone 100%. So, bro, it got to the point where I'll come this way getting ready to go to the store. I see Icebreaker out there sitting on a little green electrical box, I see her on her porch, man, I go the whole opposite way. And like I say, she ain't called me, I ain't called her. Neither one of us was really just uncomfortable. It was weird, bro. So, my very first day back of school, I got to see Icebreaker, of course. We riding the bus together. When I walked up, she said, "Hey, Chris." I was like, "What's up?" She was like, "Where you been at? You just said forget me. You just forgot about old Icebreaker." I said, "Nah, I ain't forget about your shit. I was feeling the same way, thinking the same thing." She was like, "Yeah, you right. I could have hit you up. It just be so much drama and stuff going on in my family." And I was like, "Yeah, it's all good shit."
Yeah, it sure is your family. 100%. 100%, man. Yeah.
She was like, "You want to sit next to me on the bus?" I was like, "Yeah, I will." So I sat down next to her, and we was just talking and chopping it up. She was just like, "Man, if I told you like about my real life and about what's really going on and stuff like that," she was like, "Man, I probably couldn't even tell you with a straight face." I was like, "What you mean?" She was like, "I probably really would bust out crying. Like, if I was to really tell you my real story, I probably would just bust out crying. I probably wouldn't even be able to get it out." So then I went to feeling bad for her. I'm like, "Well, shit, if you want to talk about it, we can." I was like, "I'm the master of skipping. I know a good skip spot right now. We could leave and goddamn go, you feel me?" And she was like...
And like I said, situations like that is common, man. You meet a woman, a young girl in this case, young lady, and she seemed like she got, a lot going on and whatnot. And y'all get close, she get comfortable with you, and man, some of the stories that you hear, some of the stories I done heard, probably some of the stories that several people done heard, it gets real wicked, it gets real dark, and then you see why these young kids be smoking blacks, smoking the green leaf, smoking the green tree, and cigarettes and everything, man. So, it's a whole rabbit hole. I'm definitely not gonna get into it in this video, but it does happen, man. So check on your people. Parents, people watching your kids. Make sure they can be kids for as long as they can be.
"Nah, I'll tell you one day, because you cool for real. You cool. I like your vibes." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." So we get off the bus. We got to go to different classes. So the dude that ride the bus, he cool. We ain't just best friends or nothing, but he cool people. And he came up when we parted ways and I was going to my class. He said, "Well, you was sitting next to the rip. You hit that shit?" I was like, "Huh?" He was like, "Did you hit that shit?" I said, "No, nigga." He said, "Man, she's a rip for real." Now, back in the day, I don't think people use that slang no more, but back in the day when people used to refer to a woman as the rip or the nat-nat, they're basically saying she's overly promiscuous, she's overly going, everybody and their daddy can clap cheeks, stuff like that.
She just out there, gone. This is today's terminology. My generation, she for the streets. She, well, I guess you can say thought. I guess you can say thought, even though that's kind of like faded out of relevancy. But yeah, thought, she for the streets. I'm trying to think of another one, like 304, which is just another way to, say the actual word. And yeah, that's about what comes to mind right off the rip. Not too much has changed. It's funny because, like, of course, Bill, I think Bill is 28, 29, and from his generation of mine, is like it's not too much has changed. It's like the same thing, just different terminology, So yeah.
So that's what he was just telling me about it. I'm like, "Man, that girl ain't like that." Fuck, he like, "Man, you crazy as hell. You must don't know who you talking to." He said, "Hey, bro." He called somebody else over there. He was like, "Dude, come over there."
It's bad when the guy saying she out there like that, and then he gotta call somebody over real quick to like be his witness. And usually when you have more than one people corroborating the same story, unless it's a lie, of course. But in situations like this, where you got multiple dudes corroborating the same story, 9 times out of 10, it's true.
He was like, "What's up?" He was like, "What Icebreaker is? What we refer to Icebreaker?" And dude was like, "That bitch is the real. Nat, that bitch is the real." And I was like, "Damn, for real?" They're like, "Hell yeah." He like, "Man, Chris trying to wipe her up." So he was like, "No." I was trying to do all that. So we laugh, get the laughs and shits and giggles. We go head on about our business. School going by, you know what I'm saying? So it's my fourth period. It's time for my fourth period. I'm a big skipper at this. I promise you, bro. I got, I think, 31 days of ISS, in-school suspension once. Because my teacher had just saw me. He said, you ain't been to class in a minute. I bullshit him. Yeah, I've been sick, whatever. He like, you gonna be there today, right? I said, yeah. And when I didn't show, I sworn I heard some shit. Right. And when I didn't show, he gave me 31 days of ISS. Well, he wrote me up, and then the people who do the write-ups gave me 31 days of ISS. So I'm walking towards the hallway because the exit, I'm about to leave and go hide and chill out at the girl's house. The high school police officer dude is his office right there. His office all glass. So, you know, I'm keeping my head down. I'm looking, I see some people in there. I see some people in there that ain't that ain't no damn high schoolers, you know what I'm saying? So I get closer and closer walking up to the thing. Now he did have blinds, but on one side he didn't. Older white dude, I'll never forget this. As I walk up, went to looking up, bruh, I see Icebreaker sitting in this chair on the end, balling. She like this. I can't hear her, but you can see she's crying. You got somebody else right here in the middle. I don't know who this was. This is a girl that went to our school. I guess they friends or whatever the case. And then you got Icebreaker daddy standing up, probably a foot behind her, and there's two police officers, and his hands is behind his back. And the police officer over the high school was sitting there talking, doing like this. And I guess, you know, people looking this way, he turned, and when he saw me looking, he came over there and closed the blinds. So when I came walking up, bro, I clearly saw, look, Icebreaker daddy in her eyes. This man hands is behind his back, and I verified that other girl was a girl we went to school with, and Icebreaker was sitting there, bawling, crying. I went, you know what I'm saying, to where I usually go or whatever the case, and I was just thinking about it. I was like, hell no. So I waited for a minute. I'm about to go see what them folks still in there, just trying to be nosy. Mm-hmm. When you come back around that part by the school, it's two police cars parked right there. I see them. The one that was in the front is walking out, and the other one walking out too. Icebreaker daddy. The other one pulled the door open or whatever the case. So I go back through the back to the area I go to, and right there in that hallway, I just heard boo-hoo crying. And I heard a girl say, "It's okay, Icebreaker. Icebreaker, it's okay, girl. It's okay. You ain't got to worry about that shit no more." So I went to the dog, like, "Icebreaker, Icebreaker." I was like, "Hey, Chris, come skip with me. Come talk to me. Come on, this your time. You said you would talk to me. You need somebody to talk to. You need a shoulder to lean on. Come on." So her friend came out immediately. She was like, "Chris, where the hell you about to go?" I said, "I got a spot. Come on." So she's still crying, bro. The friend holding her hand. I grab Icebreaker other hand. Fuck it. Whoop-de-doo. Talking about she the rip. Whoop-de-doo. I grab her other hand. We got to make sure the teachers ain't coming. We shoot down the steps.
And it's like in those situations, bro. It's like, I believe in the terminology, don't save her, she don't want to be don't save her, she don't want to be saved. All right. And that's how you getting, that's how you living. That's your life. Of course, I don't agree with it. I think your body is a temple. You should treat it as such. But if that's just how you living, man, and you fully comfortable with that, hey, be my guest. Be like Bill said, whoop-de-doo. Be my absolute guest, man. Of course, don't expect other people to agree with your lifestyle, and that's how you come in a situation like that. But after all of that, though, this is a 16-year-old child. This ain't a grown woman that's like made it up in her mind that, hey, this is how I'm living, this is how I'm coming, this what I'm doing. Is either you gonna love me or you gonna hate me. This is a 16-year-old girl, literally getting sold out by her own daddy. Think about that. Genuinely think about that. And imagine growing up and you seen the police pull up to your school, you seen a student, probably their parent, probably some stranger in the office. Think back to those moments and imagine how many times something like this or something similar or adjacent or even worse done happened and the school found out about it. But you didn't know about it because, just a student. Of course, they just not going to announce that over the intercom or anything like that. And you just finding out that the person that you've been going to school with is the same age as you. Excuse me. The person that you've been going to school with the same age as you is literally getting sold out by her own people for money. Her own family, her own daddy for money. Can't make this up, man. That's why I say real life is always a lot crazier than any movie can portray, because usually in the movies, it'll be like some motive, or I don't even know. Sometimes it's not a motive. Sometimes it is similar to real life. But in real life, unlike the movie, once the screen goes off, those are actors. They go back to their regular lives. This is real for her. This was real for her. She had to go through this. Ain't no telling how many times. Random men, $50, $75, $100, doing these favors for adult men that have no business interacting with children like this. And it's all being curated and focused on by her father, and probably her mother too. Because that also happens where some weird, sick stuff is going on, and either the father or the mother is co-signing it for whatever twisted reasons they got going on.
Get out there, and then we got to run across a little parking lot, run through some woods, and then there was this girl that was cool as hell with, but her mom and daddy, they didn't come home till later. Anytime during school hours, she didn't give a damn. She just used to want us to give her Al Green sometimes. She let us come in her house, whatever. She skipped more than me. We went in her house.
And if you, like I said, if you're unfamiliar with Bill, Al Green is just another word for, weed. It's just another word for that.
Sat down on the couch. The icebreaker just bust out crying again, bro. And her friend was rubbing her back. She was like, "It's okay, you can talk. We got your back." So I went over there, gave icebreaker a tight hug. She was boo-hoo crying, wetting my damn shirt up, this new polo shirt I had just damn bought. And she just went to crying, bro. She told me that her daddy, her real biological daddy, been doing sexual molestation type of things to her since she was probably about 10. And for the past 2 years, her daddy has been making her participate in sexual activities with people for money, and he be making her write it down every time he finished, which explains. And I didn't figure out till years later, because when she said that, of course, I'm not the type nigga, I'm not about to go in detail and keep asking you questions. But years later, I found out what BJ, BBJ, CIM. I said, oh, fuck no, when I finally found it out. But, bro, she said her daddy had been making her sell it for 2 years. He'll beat her ass, because he'll set stuff up with people on purpose and make sure you get her that much, just to test her to see if she the type finna be lying and try to hide money. And that day I caught him smacking her out. I guess she had got tired of him, just taking all the money, and she was stealing some of it, but she didn't know that some of them people that pulled up was really sent by her daddy, so he knew exactly how much money she had really got. And
once again, 16-year-old child, real biological dad, like Bill said, pimping her out to grown men for 2 whole years. And that was her reality for 2 years straight. And like I said, like I keep reiterating, some people, it's not just 2 years, it's their whole life. It's literally their whole life, what they got going on from whenever they started or when they was dragged into it to now as an adult to probably in the grave.
She told me she was lying to me about when she said it was her uncle and her cousin. She said it was people that was calling that she had to go sell it to real quick. And she said she just was fed up with it. She been fed up with it, but this particular day, her mama called up to the school, to the counselor, made her get on the phone and questioned the shit out of her about what is all this shit wrote down in this tablet, and she couldn't hold it no more. She told the truth. They finessed the daddy to come up there like there was something going on with her. She came. They had the other real police there. The high school officer was a real police officer, but they had the other two up there, and they arrested him right there on the spot. And I think that same day, because I don't think she came back to school. That same day, Icebreaker mama unenrolled her from the school, and I probably didn't talk to her again until probably about 2 years later when I was in Job Corps. And she told me she was in Job Corps, but I was at the one in Brunswick, she was at the one in Albany. And she told me she was doing real good and stuff like that, and that she in this trade and that trade, and that she was practicing celibacy because she want to regain her power back through her body and all this type of stuff. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that's fine, you know what I'm saying? I used to talk to her a lot, bro. She was cool as hell. We was always cool. And she got out of Job Corps. Is it a miscarriage or an abortion? I think it was a miscarriage because I know she was telling me one day that last week what happened and all that type of stuff. And I probably say like a week later, bro, everybody was posting rest in peace, Icebreaker, rest in peace, Icebreaker. We can't.
Oh, God. And see, that usually is this is a crazy pause on Bill. I'm sorry, bro. Well, no, like for real, all seriousness, that's usually how stories like that end up. Either a pregnancy, a STD, or them going to the upper room. And sometimes all three. It's not everybody's story, because some people, they get out of that stuff and of course they go on to live as normal as a life they can, regular life, or become advocates. But just in this particular situation, it seems as though she did not make it to see the end of her journey. Whatever reason. Well, Bill is about to let us know, I'm assuming.
And believe this girl, rest in peace, Icebreaker. When I went to looking about everything, they said Icebreaker took a whole prescription bottle of pills, and she wrote her mama a letter just telling her she don't think she's good enough in this world, and everything that her daddy took her through, she just can't just deal with it no more. She like, even though you moved me to another school and I came all the way to Albany, Georgia to go to school, it's just so many people that just remind me of stuff, and then sometimes I fall back into those ways because I kind of had got used to it, and I really don't want to live like that. It just was all kind of stuff all over Facebook. And they say she took a whole bottle of pills and killed herself. And yeah, bro, that's why mental health is very serious. Therapy is serious. If you ever been through something traumatic in life, I think it's very important for you to, even if you feel like, even when I got out, I was like, man, I don't need to see no damn therapist. Nigga, you did 9 years in prison around so much violence, you need to see one. So sometimes, and then sometimes people just gonna do what they do regardless, you know what I'm saying? But this is a message to y'all, bro. If you're going through something serious and you ever have a thought or anything like that, bro, go talk to somebody. Go talk to somebody, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because life gets so much better. Even though Icebreaker went through all that she went through, bro, doing that to yourself, what I said, about 3 years, so 6, 7, 8, 19. She wasn't even 20 years old yet. So doing that, I mean, you know how far up you could have went in life if you would not have done that. But I do understand that, when your mind get in that headlock, you don't even think that far or like that at all. You know what I'm saying? So, I forgot to tell y'all, because I know damn well y'all was going to be asking, what happened to that? Oh, man. So originally, Icebreaker Daddy, I think he was sentenced to 13 or 14 years in prison. And then after that happened with her, and then the mama hired a lawyer and tried to fight it more, saying if it wasn't for him, that wouldn't have never happened to her daughter. And even though he wasn't there, but they did something where they charged him with like a murder or manslaughter or something. They took Icebreaker Daddy back to court, gave him a life sentence. So he probably never get out. If he do, it'll be after 30-some years. Now, it's your boy Bill. I'm going to do the best of y'all ability to stay out of trouble.
Yeah, man. That's a very unfortunate case. Like I said, you grow up in certain areas, certain regions, that becomes very, well, no, I'm not going to say normal, but you see a lot of that. And like I said, unfortunately, in this case, this young lady ended up taking her life after being used to that for so long and having to finally break out of that mold. She just couldn't adapt, man. She just couldn't adapt. She was being assaulted by her own father. Her father ended up putting her on the streets to make money for him, and that's just not something you necessarily come back from. Even if you do, you're not going to be the same person that you started out from. And like I said, there's so many stories like that, both men and women, and it's just, like I said, it gets real sick, it gets real dark, it gets real twisted, man. So be mindful of your people. Be mindful of the people that you have around your kids. Be mindful of your children, because you just never know sometimes, man. And yeah, wherever he's at, I'm pretty sure he's rotting up in there. And once they find out the charges that he had towards his own daughter, boy, he's I highly doubt he's having a fun time in prison. I'm just leave it at that, and that's what he deserves. And I don't want to be the type to be like, you can't condemn nobody, but in a situation like that, there's no other way to deal with you. There's no other way for to people to sleep comfortably at night, knowing that you just might be having time in your life in jail, prison, and you just living it up and know. I'm pretty sure once they find out what he got going on, he is not having a fun time. And it's a life sentence, so he can't get away from it. She had to deal with that for 2 years, and like I said, unfortunately, she ended up taking her life. He has a life sentence. So you already probably know what they're doing to him inside that jail cell, that prison cell. And yeah, I feel no type of ways about it, because that man, whoever he is a sick freak, and he's exactly what he needs to be. So rest in peace to her soul. Yeah, it's just a sad situation. Shout out to Bill, man. Like I said, he has plenty of stories. This one is just kind of a heavier one due to the subject matter. It's kind of a good majority of his stories, but like, it's real life stuff, man. It's not the type of stuff, well, it is type of stuff you see on the news, but it's a little bit more personal. Instead of coming like from a third person point of view, it's like somebody that was actually there, or somebody that was close enough to experience the things that they talking about. And it just makes it, well, I ain't gonna say more entertaining, but it just makes it more personal. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this one. I guess enjoy the video. I don't know, just like I said, watch your people, watch out for your folks. But yeah, that's it for me, y'all, and I'm gonna catch y'all on another one. All right, for sure.